What's going on YouTube? Byrdman here with another Destiny 2 Titan build. Today we're going to be showing off a super awesome synergy between the Path of the Burning Steps and one of the newest 30th anniversary weapons. Now before I get into the video, I'll let you know you can find me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Byrdman778. Find me every single day starting at noon Eastern Standard Time. Right now we're having a bit of issues with like the bit rate and everything going on Twitch. So make sure you're catching me over here on YouTube, youtube.com/Byrdman778. Make sure you're giving a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, possibly becoming a member. We might be swapping over here soon for our streaming, so make sure you're letting me know if you would watch me over here. And finally, find me on Twitter, twitter.com/Byrdman778 for some super subpar tweets and bad takes. Now, let's jump right on into the build. So I mentioned that this is a solar-based build that uses the Path of the Burning Steps exotic. Now, before we get into exactly where the synergy's at, let's talk about what skill tree we're going to be using for this. And we're going to be going all the way down to the bottom to the Code of the Siegebreaker. Why are we choosing this? Because of the synergies that it gives us with those sunspots that we have that will help increase grenade energy as well as our melee. We're essentially trying to boost up those stats as much as humanly possible to help then synergize our weapon from the 30th anniversary. Now, this is also amazing because, again, those solar wells are going to heal us over time, stuff like that. We also have an awesome super where we're able to create a bunch of those. That's going to be more for just like in general, like mob zoning, I would say, rather than just like pure boss DPS or anything like that. But no, at least for the abilities and how they're going to synergize with like your grenade, your ability energy, and your melee energy, having this bottom tree is the best thing possible. Now, let's talk about the first weapon that we're going to be using for this build. I decided to go with the FATEBRINGER since we have Firefly on this. Firefly creates those precision kills that create solar damage to nearby enemies. This is super awesome because it chains well with Explosive Wellmaker, helping give us even more solar wells to then synergize into our melee and our grenade energy. This is just super awesome just for also the fact that whenever we don't have like any more special ammo for our main weapon, this kind of is really nice to kind of get some more ammo, get some wells for us, get us charged up and ready to go into like the next kind of like stage of our absolute rampage. Next up is the coup de grace weapon, the one reason why we're using this entire setup, the Retraced Path. Now, this is a Halo old weapon. I believe it used to be like one of the trace rifles that was in that game, but they decided to repurpose it as a trace rifle in Destiny. But the big reason why we're using this, not only because it's our only purple trace rifle out there, but it has the ability of getting this perk, Golden Tricorn. Golden Tricorn reads, final blows with this weapon grant bonus damage, and while this buff is active, grenade or melee kills the same damage type greatly increase its damage and duration. Now, this is super awesome just purely off the fact that first off, it's going to increase your damage on those final blows. It typically does about 900 damage per shot, like per like kind of like second beaming. But as soon as you get that Golden Tricorn, it's going to boost all the way up to 1300. Now, we're also going to have our Path of the Burning Steps to help boost this up. But with that Golden Tricorn, we're immediately getting almost double of a damage boost right off the bat. So that's really nice. But one of the biggest things is the fact that we can then use our grenades in our melee, solar that is, to then help extend the duration of this. This is so much fun because it also boosts up the damage ×2 again for this. So we're going to be hitting for about 2,000 plus, especially on a crit against enemies. Now, one thing I will mention is whenever you're just doing the ×1 Golden Tricorn, it will reset after every single kill. But once you get the ×2, it is a set duration of 10 seconds. It will go all the way down to 0, and then it will reset to ×1, and then that can continue to just like refresh itself almost instantly. So if you're wanting to make sure you're keeping up the ×2, you have to then get those grenade or melee kills. So that's why having a lot of these well mods that we're going to have on is really nice, essentially just continuing the damage there. But the one I also have also has Subsistence, which helps so much because defeating targets partially reloads the magazine from reserves, essentially letting us just hold down the trigger the entire time and not having to let go. This is an awesome weapon. I'm really glad that they added in a purple trace rifle to the game, and I think this is a great example, especially the fact that we get this Golden Tricorn perk for it. I'm also using the GJALLARHORN, of course. I'm using the GJALLARHORN. I got the catalyst for it, all that fun stuff. This is obviously one of the better options, just purely off the fact it does explosive solar damage, so we're going to get explosive well mods off of it, and it just does a crap ton of damage. And it's the GJALLARHORN. Like, how could you be like a Destiny player and not want a GJALLARHORN? It's amazing. We love it. When it comes to our armor, what are we going to be doing here? So I always like to go with a regular purple helmet for this, but I make sure that I add on the trace rifle ammo finder, essentially ensuring that I'm going to constantly be able to get special ammo for my trace rifle. Really nice all around, just making sure that we have plenty of green bricks sitting around. But also the fact that elemental ordnance is really nice, just purely off the fact that whenever we get a grenade kill, which we're going to be constantly doing on this build, we're going to be able to get those solar wells for that, which then will synergize into getting more energy for our melee, which then we'll use our melee, which will help the grenade, which so on and so forth. You get the point. Next up, we got some purple arms, and on these, I decided to add in the well of ordnance, essentially ensuring that we're going to be able to get more grenade energy from our solar wells. I decided to go in some fastball for some extra distance, and also the fact that we've got trace rifle loader, just ensuring that we have a faster reload on our trace rifle, constantly just shooting around, making sure that even if subsistence doesn't work, we're at least going to make sure we have an extra mag just ready to go instantly. Next up is going to be our chest piece. On this, we're going to be going trace rifle reserves. Increase the amount of trace rifle ammo you can carry. It's only a little bit, but every little bit helps, just especially the fact that, like, especially in here, we don't have a whole lot of much of anything extra to go into, you know, so don't really worry about it. Just make sure you at least get that on there. But again, like I mentioned before, explosive well maker, rapidly defeating combatants with explosive damage, spawn solar elemental wells. That's going to be your GJALLARHORN. That's going to be your FATEBRINGER with that Firefly on it, essentially ensuring that whenever you do anything explosive, and this can include your grenade as well, you're going to get a crap ton of wells from that. And finally, the coup de grace exotic for our armor is going to be the Path of the Burning Steps. The perk Firewalker reads, solar final blows periodically grant you an escalating bonus to weapon damage. You are harder to slow or freeze with stasis, and when you break out, you take no damage from doing so, creating a burst of solar energy around you. This is actually really nice for those PvE maps where enemies have physical stasis effects to them, especially in like those like Nightfalls and those like different strikes like that where you see that. Essentially ensuring you ain't going to get frozen that hard, and then you'll have that solar energy explode around you. We really like that. But also for the fact that Firewalker will stack up to like 4 times, essentially ensuring extra damage. We're using a solar weapon, that being our untraced trace rifle. So really nice to have that. I decided to also add on their trace rifle scavenger. Trace rifles get bonus reserves when you pick up special ammo, and then also melee well maker. Whenever we get those melee kills, we're going to be getting a lot of wells from that. Again, you guys see what I'm essentially doing here, making sure that our abilities are able to create plenty of wells so that we're able to then use that to keep our golden trihorn times 2 as much as humanly possible, just as much damage output as we can all the time. But even just having a golden tricorn times 1 with these burning steps is nice, just because you're going to still be doing a lot of damage. You'll just be wanting that times 2 for like bosses and like just heavy elites or something like that. Now, I always like to mention like extra weapons or exotics that you can add on to this to kind of help the synergy of the build if you don't have these specific things. First off, for the Retraced path, if you don't have that, a Promethean lens would be absolutely amazing for this, especially since, again, it is a solar trace rifle. It will do really well, but you won't be getting that golden tricorn. You'll just be getting the stuff off of the burning steps. But still, that's a good amount of damage just to be shooting around constantly. And if for some reason you don't have the Path of the Burning Steps, something you can add on is the Ashen Wake. I absolutely love these gauntlets just because fusion grenades now explode on impact and gain increased throw speed. Final blows of fusion grenades grant grenade energy, essentially ensuring that you're going to be constantly keeping up that grenade energy for your untraced path. Thank you so much for stopping by this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I'm really glad to be back doing some Destiny builds. I wanted to try out a bunch of different stuff from the 30th anniversary. So finding the Retraced path, finally getting like a god level of it was awesome. And being able to create a build out of that is really fun. But guys, make sure you're checking out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Byrdman778. Just give a follow over there. You can always subscribe if you want. But again, the biggest thing you can do to help me out is give a thumbs up on this video, subscribe to the channel, and possibly become a member. Again, we're really considering moving over here to YouTube just because Twitch has just been an absolute crapshoot recently. So, hey, you might be seeing me over here more often. Who knows? We'll see. But regardless, you can also find out everything about my channels and what's going on over at twitter.com/Byrdman778. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a guys, oh my gosh, I hope you guys have a great night, day, or whatever it may be.